Hey everybody, how are you today? Wow, I'm having a great time doing this. And I was looking at our stats today, and we are almost to 1,000 downloads of our episodes. I mean, this is pretty exciting for me because it's a big number, and we're getting really, really close to it. I was looking at all the different stats that we've got going on for the show. And for instance, right now, YouTube, the Ryan is Pappy YouTube channel, we've got 22 actual subscribers, but we've gotten hundreds of different, views. Those of you that are viewing, please click that subscribe button so that way, when something new comes open or is published there, you'll get an alert so that you know what's going on. Our Facebook page, It's Pappy Hour, is really jumped as far as numbers go. So we're up to 62 page likes right now. So that's really good. So I know we have a lot of listeners out there. If you could do me a favor, check those out. Click, like on our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Got some really interesting topics we're going to talk about today, but to kind of change it up a little bit, I'm going to keep them secret until we get there. That sounds like fun on my end. Let's see here. What's new with Pappy? Today, I was in Tucson, Arizona, for a AM radio station, 1030, 1030 KBOI, I think it was. And they have a segment every morning called Wake Up Tucson. And they brought me on because we are now the official security sponsor for the show. And introduced the company. We talked a little bit about security, and we're going to be doing a monthly segment on security. So that's kind of exciting for me because it's real important for me to be able to educate security to the public, safety things and all that. So that was really cool. It's kind of interesting too to see a studio other than my own, which is just my computer, my microphone, and all that, but to actually see it be a part of an indoor radio station. That was really cool to be a part of. So that was cool. We've been filming on location almost every weekend and a little bits through the week for our new video series called Adventures with Pappy. Now, this Adventures with Pappy, kind of give you a rundown again in case if you hadn't heard already. We're going to be going to different ghost towns, mining towns, historical locations, fun places, and bringing, the outdoors and those hidden treasures and what I call gems and all that stuff to the public to show you what is outside the house, so that, I know we're all about technology these days, but getting out and hiking the mountains and seeing what history was there is a lot of fun. And there's a little segment on our Ryan is Pappy YouTube channel that shows you what the show is going to be kind of about. We have a Kickstarter going on right now, and if you could, please check it out, kickstarter.com, and then up in the top right, there's a little search thing, hit Adventures with Pappy, or just type in Pappy and it comes up. And watch that video. Watch me talk about what my goals are for this show. I really need all the help I can get because we need a monetary goal, and that's $25,000, and that will get us the necessary equipment to really, really make a great show, TV quality, so that we can pitch it to Discovery Channel, History Channel, and Travel Channel. And that's my goal. And we have a lot of really good content. We've filmed a lot. And we're going to keep going. Even if we don't reach our goal, I'm going to keep going on it because I'm very passionate about this. And I think it's going to be something really, really big. And I know you out there in the Pappy world are really going to enjoy it. And you're going to want to share it with your friends. So please check that out. We actually started a new Facebook page for that. It's called Adventures with Pappy. So check it out because it's got some video clips on it and all that. And we're going to start putting pictures up of some of the places we traveled. For instance, give you a little glimpse without giving too much. I was in the Vulture Mountain area in Arizona, and there's a lot of history, not historical. Well, there's a lot of historical stuff there, for us to view and for me to bring to you. But there's a lot of history that a lot of people don't know about. And we're going to be exploring some of these old mines. I found a few caves, grave sites from pioneers way back in the 1870s. There's just so much that we could bring out so that people go, wow, this is in my own backyard. I want to explore. So that's important for me. So do me a favor, please, 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 please check that out. No movie reviews because I've been out on location filming, but I want to ask you, everybody, have you guys seen the new trailer for the new Spider-Man Far From Home? Now, I'm not going to talk about it because I know there are a lot of my listeners that have not yet seen the Avengers Endgame. Now, because you don't want to see this trailer or hear about this trailer, and I'm not about spoilers, I hate that, but you don't want to see this trailer or hear about this trailer unless you've seen the movie, because it kind of gives away a lot of spoilers of what happens in Endgame. So, check out that if you haven't. It's really cool. I, for one, think it's going to be a phenomenal movie, so I like the direction that they're heading with that. So it's going to be pretty cool. Creed Fisher, the individual that does the opening song and closing song for the show here, he has a new album coming out. I want you guys to check it out. Go look on Facebook, Creed Fisher, and check it out. Got amazing music. So I'm really excited about this new album coming out, and probably want to use some of those songs in our Adventures with Pappy show, as we're going to feature, some local artists and artists that I really like, that I want to get spotlight in the shows during little parts of the show. So it's going to be really cool. Now, to get going and to get started on the topics,
this is a national security. An idiot has been caught on video. Beware of idiots. An idiot has been caught on video. Beware of idiots. Issued by the National Security Service.
we have a Democrat presidential nominee that is coming in, and you know how they say presidential hopeful. I'm more or less calling this guy a presidential hopeless. I think he's already lost the primary, in my opinion. I just found out about this one today, so I had to write this into the show really quick. But I don't know. This guy's kind of an idiot. Okay, his name is Pete Buttigieg, Buttigieg. He is a mayor, so I'm just going to call him Mayor Pete. Okay, so Mayor Pete, he's from South Bend, Indiana, 37 years old, former naval intelligence officer. He decided to publicly say during a campaign stop that America was never great. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that Trump coined the phrase "Make America Great Again," because we know that we want that to happen. We want America to be great again. And so I don't know if he's attacking Trump's use of that, or if he's just a plain out idiot. I mean, which I'm going to assume the second one. But he says America was never great. So he's done now, I'm sure. But what I need to know, okay, Mayor Pete, and I doubt you're going to listen to my show because, you just don't have common sense. And my Pappy followers have common sense. So if America, what do you mean about it not being great? I can't wrap my head around this for some reason. I mean, I'm kind of at a loss for words. When somebody says America was never great, obviously they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, granted, America was never perfect. Okay, I'm not saying it was perfect, but I'm saying America is freaking great. Okay, if you think about it, we've got freedoms. We've got freedom of speech, freedom of religion. I have to tell you, Mayor Pete, you you've come out and the LGBT community, and you and your husband in South Bend, Indiana, live a happy life. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of countries that wouldn't support that. So I'm pretty sure America's pretty great on that. We've had people that have fought and died for you. Yes, I understand you were in the military, but you think about those people that have died in the wars and on the battlefields to protect our freedom, so that we're not, speaking German, we're not speaking Russian, we're not speaking Japanese. We are an amazing country. Why would we have so many thousands of asylum seekers trying to get into the United States every single day if we weren't great? I mean, come on. I mean, you were elected at 37 years, or probably 29 years old. I'm sorry, you were elected at 29 years old. You're 37 now. But obviously, it's pretty great if people took a chance on you. I mean, I just don't get it. Imagine, okay, put yourself in other countries' shoes. North Korea, for crying out loud, they have their power turned off every freaking night. Okay, and if they speak one bad word about Kim Jong-un, then they disappear, they die, or they get put into hard labor for the rest of their lives. Okay, at least our jail systems are, and I'm not saying they're great, and I'm not saying they're good, but they're a hell of a lot better than what you'd find in North Korea. I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't accept your lifestyle there either. Russia. How about Argentina? Right now they got the military running over people and shooting at people because they've taken away all their guns. I mean, you're telling me America is not great? I mean, it's pretty damn great. Again, not perfect. We have a lot of work to do. I mean, we look at the Democrats and we look at the Republicans sitting in the Capitol right now. Okay. The only thing they're focused on right now, instead of repairing the country and doing what's right for the country, is who's going to win what fight. Okay. It's all about points now. It's all about the dollar, saying, I want to control this. I need to be empowered because I need that much money. It's not about, hey, we work for the American people now. Okay. So, Mayor Pete, if I just don't get it. Why would you want to run for president? The hardest job, I think, in the whole world. Okay. Why would you run for president of the country you say was never great? One that gives you so many freedoms and so many rights. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, maybe we should listen to Creed Fisher's song there and say, if you don't like it, get the hell out. I mean, obviously you deserve better than what we offer. So maybe you should find yourself another country to live in. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, anybody that says America was never great. I mean, if you think about all that we've overcome in America to give us what we have. I mean, we are creatures of comfort. We are living a life that many, many other countries could only dream of living, and yet you say America is not great. I don't get it. I mean, you're just about as good as this other guy that's running for president right now out of New Hampshire. And I kid you not. Okay. I kid you not. This guy, okay, he calls himself Vermin Supreme. He filed for the presidential primary. Okay. He said his administration, every American will receive a pony. He also plans to defeat ISIS by going back in time. This guy he blows me away. Okay. Vermin Love Supreme. That's his name. Okay. Kid you not. Look him up. Look him up. The guy looks like he's something out of Harry Potter or something like that. He was born in 1961. Okay. And he's run as a candidate at various local, state, and national elections in the United States. And he's known for wearing a boot as a hat and carrying a large toothbrush. Yes, and he will pass a law that requires people to brush their teeth. He's also campaigned on a platform of a zombie apocalypse awareness and time travel research. I kid you not. This dude's legit. He's literally filed his paperwork. And he I don't know. I mean, I can't believe this guy. I mean, I'm looking at his stuff right here. He's been an independent. He's been a Republican. He's been a Democrat. Now he's a libertarian. I mean, the guy has been in every freaking political party that you could possibly be in. Uh, I don't know. I mean, this guy is interesting. I'm looking at his page right now. Uh, he ran for president in 2004. He received 149 votes. He campaigned in 2008 for the New Hampshire Republican primary. He received 41 votes. Yeah, so there's somebody that's actually voting for him. He received 43 votes nationally. And then in 2012, he ran as a Democrat. That was kind of interesting that he did that. I mean, he's been all over the place. He ran again in 2016. He had 259 votes. So, I mean, obviously he's gaining, some popularity. But this guy, he is an absolute joke. He was actually he's an actor too. Wow. He was in some interesting movies. He was in Who is Vermin Supreme and Outsider Odyssey, Learning with Vermin, then Vote Jesus, The Chronicles of Ken Stevenson. Maybe that was him. I don't know. Then he did a couple other documentaries and whatnot. So, I mean, it's just, wow. What's interesting, though, is I'm looking at the 2008 New Hampshire Republican primary. Okay, John McCain won that one by 88,000 votes, for that. Vermin Supreme had 41. He actually beat out 7 other people for votes. Yeah, I kid you not. And then in 2016, he had 268 votes, and he beat out, it looks like 20-something other people for votes. I mean, it's just, wow. So, yeah, Vermin Supreme and Pete Buttigieg. You two are two peas in a pod. You're about as more popular right now at this particular moment than AOC is. So, she's probably thankful that you're taking the spotlight off of her. So, she's probably thanking you for that right at this very moment. It's been an interesting presidential, watch at this particular point. So I'm curious to see how many more, I guess you could say, clown acts are going to be coming into the election cycle. So we just recently in the U.S. Had our Kentucky Derby. And, it's interesting to see how many people are screaming and hollering and complaining about conspiracies at the Kentucky Derby. I guess this has been going on for 145 years. And there was a horse that actually won the race called Maximum Security. Now, that's kind of cool in my point because, being in the security field, I kind of like that. But what I thought was interesting is it's the first disqualification in 145 years for a winning horse. And that's because apparently right before the end of it, he ends up cutting off another horse. And I guess that's bad, but then you see it happening through the whole thing. So I don't understand how it works, but the Kentucky Derby is now a new conspiracy. So that might be a fun little show one day, but I don't know much about horse races and whatnot. So that was kind of interesting. Let's see. Real interesting thing coming out with NASA right now. They are actually looking for people that want to get paid to lie in bed. Yes, the European Space Agency and the German Aerospace Center and NASA are offering $18,500 for people to lie in bed for 2 months. Now, I guess this job is going to be based in Germany right now, which is kind of interesting. But they want to study to better understand how the body adapts to weightlessness. The agencies are currently looking for people who are female between the ages of 24 and 55 who speak German. Okay, which is weird. I don't know why they need, that to happen because, if you're going to be part of NASA, there's going to be some Americans that probably want to apply, and I'm pretty sure we got lots of people that would love to stay in bed for $18,500 for 2 months. I mean, it's kind of a thing. Now, here's the catch. The chosen for the job, they have to stay in bed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 60 straight days. That means no getting up for bathroom breaks, bathing, or meals. Okay? And it ends up coming just shy of about what they say, $13 an hour, I think it is, to sit in bed all day and do nothing, which is kind of interesting. Now, it says here that there are days for orientation, rest, and rehabilitation, both at the beginning and the ends of the studies. So, you've got the 60 days of bed, total bed. And so overall about 89 days worth of stuff. So it might be interesting. Oh, and it says here, volunteers will have to lie in bed with their heads tilted slightly downward. So that's to help recreate conditions of space flight. And it will be about a 6-degree horizontal change. So that's kind of interesting to say. I don't know if I can do that because that would be all of the blood flow would be right stuck in my head. I wonder if they'll let you play PlayStation all day or whatnot while you're in there, watch tons of TV. But I don't know about you, but I don't think I could sit in bed for 60 straight days. I have a hard enough time staying in bed at all period just for a couple hours because I want to get so much done and do so much. So kind of interesting to see. But if you're interested in that and you get it accepted, let me know. We'll do an interview. Now, North Korea recently popped up in the news, which I think is really funny because, I mean, other than the fact that, their president looks like a cartoon, North Korea sent a $2 million bill to the United States for a hospital stay for somebody that they held as a prisoner. Did you know that? Yep. Otto Warmbier, Warmbier. Okay, Otto. Just call him Otto. He traveled to North Korea with a tour group in late 2015. On January 1st, 2016, North Korean officials, they claimed that Otto stole a propaganda poster from a hotel. He was stopped as the group was preparing to leave the country and later made a seemingly forced confession to the crime. So he gets arrested, and it seems like the way that he was giving his confession it was pushed on him. It was forced. He was innocent, still to the least, according to him. But he was forced to say, yes, I'm guilty. And it's probably because they beat it out of him. I don't know. Poor guy was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. Okay, in North Korea, those conditions are probably pretty bad. And hard labor is probably busting rocks. The stuff you see on TV that you go, nah, that can't happen in real life. That kind of stuff happens in North Korea. And then what happened to him after he was sentenced really isn't clear. He remained in prison for about 17 months before he was flown home to Cincinnati for medical treatment. Okay, by the doctors, they say that Otto suffered neurological injuries. Okay, so Otto died 2 days after being returned to the U.S. But when he returned, he was given back to us by the Korean government. He was already unresponsive. He was in like a brain dead state at this point. Yet North Korea sends a $2 million hospital bill. So I'm guessing they beat him senseless, try to scam the U.S. I mean, the Kim Jong-un scam artist, as far as I'm concerned. And it's unknown if the bill ever did get paid. But what's interesting is, I know North Korea has a different way of, taking care of prisoners and convicts and criminals, okay? We have this thing in the United States where we try to still treat criminals, convicts as people. Now, I know a lot goes on in prisons that is god-awful and, it's totally against humanity. But I think, and from what I researched and read about North Korea, is that's all they're about anymore, is inhumanity things. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And then we had to fight to get this guy back, and we had to send a peacekeeper over there to negotiate his release, and then he comes back brain dead. And then they're trying to say it took $2 million to take care of him. I mean, maybe if they didn't beat this poor guy to death, then they wouldn't have even had to take care of him. I mean, it's such a sad scenario about traveling outside the country and some of the dangers that come with it. But I've always thought about traveling outside the countries, but then when I see stuff like this happening, it really makes me wonder, do I really, 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 really want to travel outside the country? Or is it just, maybe I should just stay here because, I'm probably going to be one of those people that's, unfortunate, but I'm the kind of guy that's always part of these statistics. For instance, like when I go to the airport, no matter what time of day or night it is, no matter if there's a big line, little line, no line, getting through the TSA checkpoint, okay? They always look at my license, look at me, and like, it's not me, which it is me in the license. And then I'm the lucky guy that gets my hands swabbed for, gunpowder, explosive residues, and all that stuff. No matter how many people are there. And then it's funny. It's like maybe I pop up on some type of database or something. I don't know. I mean, it's just I'm the guy that, I can have absolutely nothing in my computer bag but my computer, maybe 2 pens, and they'll still pull my computer out. It's really interesting to see. But, so if I'm not lucky at the airport, I'd hate to see what's going to happen to me in some other country. I mean, I'll probably end up being that, late breaking news, Pappy, the famous podcaster, famous really, yeah, but podcaster, taken prisoner in whatever country. I couldn't imagine that. I mean, and then I couldn't even imagine having a family member taken as a prisoner. So I don't know about that. So last week we talked about in my rant about cars and kids. And, it starts heating up outside. And even if it's cold, believe it or not, weather being in the 50s, could still get awfully hot in cars. We're getting ready to do what I call a PSA, public service announcement, where I'm actually going to sit inside a hot car in Arizona, of all places, and see how long it takes till I could barely stand it, see how hot it gets, how fast it gets hot. So that's going to be real interesting. I'm actually going to put that on our It's Pappy Hour Facebook page. So I plan on doing that within the next week or two, just depending on, how everything is going with filming Adventures with Pappy, work, home life, babies, all that stuff. So I'm going to make sure we do that. I don't have a lot to rant about today, which is kind of weird, just because I probably ranted at the beginning of my segment here with Mayor Pete. But I can tell you this guy is just, I don't know. I mean, if you really don't like our country, no matter what your religion is, what your beliefs is, and you think this country just absolutely freaking sucks and there's nothing good about it, then why are you here? Why would you want to live in a country like that? I mean, go ahead, go live in some other country, and I guarantee you'll be back. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So that's pretty much it for today. Today was kind of a short one again. I'm finding that a lot of people are liking the somewhat shorter episodes because they can get it, listen through, and, they can do it during their lunch breaks and whatnot. So I want to thank everybody again for listening to my show. We're almost, again, 1,000 downloads. Let's see if this week, let's try it. Get as many people as you can. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 downloads. We are 48 downloads away from 1,000 downloads right now, which is really cool. We have a lot of episodes. We got 16 past episodes to listen to. They are still going pretty strong. I'm looking at them right now. My Conspiracies with Pappy one seems to be the big one with the Denver International Airport. If you haven't listened to that, check it out. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Pappy Hour. Make sure you check out and download, if you haven't yet, our apps on Google Play, iTunes. That way you can take me everywhere, okay? I know I say it every week, but I don't care if you listen to me in the bathroom, in the car, while you're doing laundry, whatever the case may be. I'm just happy to be a part of your life, and I thank you so much for listening. Again, check out our Facebook page and make sure you like it. Okay, so it's Pappy Hour, ITS, Pappy Hour. That way you know when new stuff is coming up, and it will also let you know when new episodes of Pappy Hour are being released. Okay, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ryan is Pappy. Okay, not only can you listen to the shows then, but you get some crazy funny videos that you can watch too. And you're going to see some videos of Adventures with Pappy on my YouTube page as well. Make sure you check in also with the Kickstarter. Help me out if you can. I mean, if everybody was to at least help me, throw $1 my way, it's going to help. Every dollar happens. Every dollar matters. And unless we receive full funding, that's the only time that we get the money. If we don't receive full funding for our goal, then we don't receive anything and nobody gets charged anything. So thank you again for listening to the show. And I will be back to you next week with another wonderful edition of Happy Hour.
You don't like our traditions. You say we've done you wrong. Why don't you pack up your bags and take your ass back home? 'Cause this is my home, and son, I'm mad as hell. I think whooping your ass is worth a couple nights in jail. There's a million pissed off rednecks just like me, and we're all sick and tired of this bullshit called PC. I guess you didn't know, but you don't mess with generally. If you have a right to burn my flag, then I have a right to kick your ass.